Fabric by Gerber Life.
Yetis, you all know that Jack and I recently became dads.
Nick's known as the Podfather. I'm the Padre.
And that is why we're excited to partner with Fabric, which was designed by parents for parents.
The first thing we did when Nick and I had kids was say, gooshy, gooshy, goo.
First thing we did. Second thing we did, though, we realized, we need life insurance.
Life insurance pays out if you lose your life. Having life insurance helps us rest easy, knowing our kids will be taken care of no matter what.
Fabric helps you get a high-quality, surprisingly affordable term life insurance policy in less than 10 minutes.
Fabric offers life insurance up to $1 million of coverage for less than $1 a day.
So join the thousands of parents who trust Fabric to protect their families.
Apply today in just minutes at meetfabric.com/tboy.
That's meetfabric.com/TBOY.
Policies issued by Western Southern Life Assurance Company, not available in certain states. Prices subject to underwriting and health questions.
meetfabric.com/tboy. This is Nick.
This is Jack.
It's Tuesday, T-Boy Tuesday, August 15th, and today's pod is the best one yet. It is a T-Boy.
I got nothing. Can you help me?
I can help you. How about we whip up the first story?
Sure. Let's do that.
Let's hit the first story.
For our first story, Dunkin just launched spiked coffee. It's a can of iced coffee that is 6% alcohol.
Yeti, spiked coffee has failed, but Dunkin is still giving it a shot. Literally.
For our second story, we're looking at girl math. Girl math is the biggest new trend on TikTok.
So Jack and I want to talk about girl math, guy math, and being financially savvy.
And our third and final story is the hottest job in America right now.
Oh, what is it, Jack?
Driving a UPS delivery van.
UPS drivers are raking in $170K. That's not HR. That is marketing.
But Yetis, before we hit that wonderful mix.
Still got nothing but love what we're putting out, Jack. Wonderful mix of stories.
Nick and I have an update for you on Swiftonomics.
Swiftonomics, Yetis, the economic impact of one Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift's record-breaking concert tour is hitting Federal Reserve Bank levels of economic impact.
T Swift is becoming a one-woman GDP.
Yetis, as you all saw on Instagram, Taylor Swift just performed 6 straight sold-out concerts in Los Angeles.
But here's what you didn't see on Instagram. That 1 week of concerts added $320 million to the Los Angeles economy.
$320 million on spending at hotels, on taxis, and late-night post-concert pizza splurges.
$320 million. Jack, can we sprinkle on just a little more context to this thing?
That is enough money to give every citizen of Los Angeles $80.
You get $80, and you get $80, and you get $80.
$320 million is more money than it cost to build Disneyland.
We did the math, adjusted for inflation.
Yetis, $320 million, the economic impact of T Swift's concert run just in LA.
Talk to us, Jack.
That is worth more than WeWork.
In 6 nights, Taylor Swift created more economic value than Adam Newman ever did.
Hey, Jamie, why don't you give her a credit line?
We need some tickets.
And what is driving this economic surge for Taylor Swift?
Jack, I'm so glad you asked. It appears to be happiness.
Yes, happy Swifties are happy consumers.
You want proof, besties? Jack and I whipped up some proof for you.
According to Lyft data, riders to and from Taylor Swift concerts, they tip 3 times more than the average Lyfter does.
We repeat, Swifties are paying triple the tips because they're feeling so fine out there.
You waited for 2 hours in traffic just to go 2 blocks.
But you're seeing Taylor, so you tipped an extra $22, didn't you?
That is literally paying it for.
Taylor's version.
Taylor Swift isn't just singing about karma, Yetis.
No. Taylor Swift, she's financially creating it.
Let's hit our 3 stories.
Now we got something, Jack.
15 years before this song, 2 boys from the Northeast met in the dorm. They had an idea that caused a cultural storm. It's the best one yet, but the best is the norm. Jack, Nick, that's it. I don't even think they need to practice. 50%, that's a fat tip. T-Boy City on your at-list. If you know, you know, cause we ready to go. We can't wait no more, so just start the show. Start the show.
For our first story, Dunkin is trying to win with spiked iced coffee, even though other boozed coffees have failed.
Because every square is a rectangle, but not every rectangle is a square.
Jack, let's cut right to the press release here. Something boozy is brewing.
That's the headline that Dunkin's PR team led with yesterday.
Because Dunkin just announced it's launching Dunkin spiked iced coffees and spiked iced teas.
That's right. Darlene from Dunkin, she's replacing pumps of hazelnut with shots of Hennessy.
This guy wants 2 pumps, even though he can barely stand up.
Now, just to be clear, Yetis, that's not actually cognac that's going into your culotta.
That's a great point, Jack. What kind of alcohol are we talking about in these spiked drinks?
According to Dunkin's FAQ, the source of alcohol is a fermented base primarily from sugar.
That doesn't sound sketchy. Actually,
That's just like hazelnut, actually.
it sounds like an espresso martini made by Ben Affleck.
And this means that Dunkin may be the first beverage company that owns both your morning drink and your night drink.
Yetis, we've talked before about market share, but in the beverage industry, we got to talk about tummy share.
Dunkin hopes to go from your morning coffee to your night pregame just before going to the club.
It's going to own both of those, so it's increasing its tummy share.
But Yetis, in another universe, the headline to this story is this.
Dunkin encourages you to drink alcohol in the morning.
Pouring alcohol into a coffee cup used to be a sign that you have a problem.
And now that's being celebrated by Dunkin.
Yetis, a funny thing Nick and I noticed, American vices, like across the board, they've all been destigmatized.
Look at your stock portfolio. You got cannabis, gambling, alcohol. All of them used to be considered vices. They used to be considered dirty businesses.
But now on Wall Street and on Main Street, those businesses are perfectly legitimate.
They're so legitimate, they're literally investable.
10 years ago, there was no such thing as a cannabis stock and no such thing as a sports betting stock.
That did not exist.
And you also couldn't get a coffee cocktail at any grocery store served in a 6-pack.
But now you can.
In many states now, it's perfectly legal to smoke weed in one hand, drink Darlene's boozed coffee in another hand, while placing a bet on the Red Sox in your third hand.
And you know what? You're not going to be the only one.
But Yetis, there's an even stranger thing we noticed about this new product launch.
And that stranger thing is our takeaway. So Jack, what's the takeaway for our buddies over at Dunkin?
Every square is a rectangle, but not every rectangle is a square.
Yetis, here's the funny thing we noticed. There actually are 2 alcohol companies that launched spiked coffee first, and both of those coffees failed.
In 2019, Molson Coors launched Hard Cold Brew with La Colombe Coffee Company.
And last year, PBR did the exact same thing. But here's the funny thing. Both Molson and PBR spiked coffee failed.
And yet, now a coffee company is going to try to do the same thing, but hope for a different outcome.
So here's what we're thinking. Dunkin seems to be betting that you trust a coffee company to spike your coffee.
But you wouldn't trust a booze company to brew your coffee.
So the way they see it, the product is the same, but the producer is different. And that may be enough.
Because every square is a rectangle, but not every rectangle is a square.
For our second story, the newest TikTok financial trend is girl math.
So we need to talk about girl math, guy math, and how it's more strategic than critics realize.
Girl math isn't trending on TikTok. Girl math is thriving on TikTok.
Videos with the hashtag girl math have been watched 40 million times so far on TikTok.
Now, Jack, we sprinkle on a little historical context to this theme.
Girl math is a comedy bit started with a radio show in New Zealand called Fletch, Vaughn, and Haley.
Hey, Adam, can we just roll the tape on this?
Here it is.
Here's the math. I'll do this for you. I have a Deadly Ponies handbag. What I've had for 5 years. So now you're at $200 a year. You're less than $1 a day. Mine wasn't $1,000, so I'm even smaller than that.
Yeah.
So
It's a tote. How many ways can you use a tote?
That's what I was just going
The
to say.
supermarket.
nappy bag,
Shopping.
supermarket,
So you're actually
handbag,
getting 4 bags
festival
in
bag.
one.
4 bags in one. So what girl math does is it basically breaks down the cost of an item until it is justifiable.
Until it's basically free.
It's comically rationalizing the splurging that we all do in a particular way.
It's not logical, but it's absolutely relatable.
Some of it is ridiculous advice, but it's also really fun. And women and men do it.
For example, if I don't buy the 50% off item, I'm basically losing money.
Or if you buy something and then return it, you've actually made money.
But some girl math makes economic sense.
Yeah, can we whip out the whiteboard on this stuff?
If you buy a $500 handbag, but use it every day for 5 years,
Carry the 2.
it is only 27 cents a day. That's how much it costs.
27 cents a day is basically free.
Now, we've all done that calculation to justify a splurge.
Even if it's fiscally ridiculous, it's universally relatable.
But before you judge girl math economics, you should also judge guy math.
Because Jack and I did a little thinking over the weekend and we realized
Guy math exists too.
we're guilty of some guy math as well.
Guy math is when you justify the purchase of an expensive toy, claiming it's not for you, even though it's definitely for you.
For example, Jack, I just bought these new golf clubs because it clears my head, and that is cheaper than therapy, so it's free.
I bought this incredibly fast car because it saves me time. Time is money, so this car is free.
Jack, I bought this huge grill because now we can have people over, which saves money from going to a restaurant.
No more going to Cheesecake Factory.
Ipso facto,
It's free.
even though we all know that was not free.
Honey, it's free.
But Jack, let's jump on back to girl math, why don't we?
Hold on, I was about to buy a mountain bike for the family.
Let me guess, Jack, it's got a carbon frame, doesn't it?
Because it's lighter, it's free.
But Yetis, some criticize girl math for reinforcing negative stereotypes and financial irresponsibility.
But baked within girl math is stuff that even Gordon Gekko would approve of.
So Jack, what's the takeaway for our buddies over in girl math and guy math?
Girl math includes concepts that are crucial for the financially savvy.
Yetis, back to that Fletch, Vaughn, and Haley radio show. They often frame a purchase as a rent versus buy dilemma.
Rent versus buy. It's a fundamental financial question that shows the concepts of both a payback period and break-evens.
For example, this year, you've got 4 weddings. You could rent 4 dresses for $100 each.
Or you could buy one $400 dress and wear it 4 times.
Well, let's look at the economics here. The payback period on buying that dress is 4 weddings.
If you wear it 4 times, the dress has paid for itself compared to renting it.
And the break-even price on buying that dress is $400.
If you find a dress for less than $400, you're actually saving money compared to if you rented it instead.
Now, Yetis, you are not going to hear a Morgan Stanley wealth advisor preaching the morals of girl math or guy math to you.
But baked within girl math are concepts crucial for every financially savvy person. And now a word from our sponsor, Sunday's Dog Food.
So, Yetis, I don't have a dog, but growing up, I had a few lizards, an iguana. It was named Scaly Whaley.
But if that lizard were a dog, you would have fed it Sundays, wouldn't you, Nick?
Absolutely, Jack. There are so many dog foods out there, but this is the one with the balance that we think works the best.
This food is USDA beef, all natural chicken, and they toss in pumpkin and ginger for digestive support.
Honestly, Jack, even a lizard would eat that. I would eat that.
And you know we're all about efficiency on this show.
Well, Sundays arrives with 0 prep and 0 mess.
So it's delicious for the animal, but clean and easy for the human, which is key.
Jack actually has a dog. He's been feeding her Sundays for months, and River loves it.
Nick doesn't have a dog, but he would have fed his lizard Sunday's dog food before he lost it.
Before it ran away. Yetis, we worked out a special deal for our dog-loving listeners, 35% off your first order.
Go to sundaysfordogs.com/tboy or just use code TBOY at checkout.
That's sundaysfordogs.com/tboy.
Upgrade your pup to Sundays and feel good about the food you're feeding your pooch.
Or lizard.
Athletic Greens.
Lord of the Rings, scene 4, Frodo walks in. Jack, what does he say exactly?
One ring to rule them all. By the way, Frodo didn't say that. That was Tolkien. It's like the narrator's line.
Well, AG1, it's the one ring thing to rule them all. There we go. We'll roll with that.
AG1 is the nutritional supplement that replaces all the other health things we used to take.
We're talking vitamins, probiotics, greens, adaptogens. We used to take all of them separately.
We tried AG1 because we wanted all that in one scoop.
One ring to rule them all.
I've poured a scoop into my water bottle every morning for my way to work.
AG1, it makes us feel like we've taken care of our minds and our bodies. We're in the best shape to perform this pod.
75 high-quality vitamins, probiotics, and whole food-sourced ingredients you mix into a water for a tasty drink of goodness.
So if you're looking for a simpler, effective investment for your health, Yetis, try AG1.
You'll get 5 free AG1 travel packs and a free 1-year supply of vitamin D with your first purchase.
Go to drinkag1.com/tboy.
That's drinkag1.com/tboy.
For our third and final story, the hottest job in the economy right now, it's driving a brown truck for UPS.
UPS will pay drivers $170,000 a year.
$170,000 a year.
UPS shouldn't be bummed about that. UPS should brag about that.
Wear the shirt. Don't let the shirt wear you.
Yetis, last month we covered on this pod 340,000 UPS unionized workers wearing brown. They were prepared to walk off the job.
It's the summer of strikes. We got strikes everywhere, but that strike was averted for UPS.
And the threat to strike worked for those workers.
Yeah, corporate cave. They ended up adding $30 billion with the B dollars of extra compensation over a new 5-year contract with UPS workers.
And UPS workers think they deserve that pay raise.
Yeah, because UPS workers were walking and working away during the darkest days of the pandemic.
And UPS's profits nearly doubled because of that hard frontline work that they did during the pandemic.
Felt like the guys in brown deserved a little piece of the pie.
But Yetis, we already knew about that big number, the $30 billion they got because of their threat to strike.
Yes, we did, but here is the new news.
Now we know how much that means for the individual worker.
Get this. The CEO of UPS said on last week's earnings call that full-time workers are going to get in their new contract how much money, Jack?
Up to $170,000.
We repeat, Yetis, in the final year of this 5-year contract, a full-time UPS driver is going to get $170,000 in pay and benefits.
170 grand.
170 grand. That's like investment banker money, Jack.
Your UPS delivery guy is going to show up in Oxford wingtip penny loafers.
Yeah, their new side hustle is venture capital when they're not dropping off the cardboard.
Now, not everyone is a full-time driver. Part-time employees, though, they're still going to get $25.75 an hour, plus health insurance, plus a pension.
Sit down, stand up, and just drive on down the street again, Jack.
That compensation package is way better than you'd make working at FedEx or Amazon, who have non-unionized workforces.
And that also happens to be why searches for UPS job openings have boomed since that CEO's announcement.
In the past week on the job platform Indeed, there's been a 50% jump for UPS in searches.
Brown is the new gold.
Do you want to work at Google? Do you want to work at Apple? Or do you want to work at UPS?
We'll take the unpaid internship at the fulfillment center. So, Jack, what's the takeaway for our buddies over at UPS?
You've got to wear the shirt. Don't let the shirt wear you.
Yetis, we've all been there. You put on that cute top that's a little outside your comfort zone.
If you let that shirt wear you, then you're in trouble. Because it's going to show that you have no confidence and people are going to see that in you.
What you need to do is wear that shirt. Wear it with confidence. And that is the situation UPS is in.
Because of this pay increase, the UPS CEO downgraded their profit forecast. She seemed bummed about it.
But she can't be bummed anymore. She needs to start bragging about this new development.
UPS's profit loss is actually their hiring gain. Recruiting is the new advantage that UPS has over rivals FedEx and Amazon.
Run with this, UPS. You got to do a marketing campaign featuring the workers who have delivered our Instapots in the middle of the pandemic.
And then finish with this line. At UPS, we treat our workers like we treat our packages.
And then include a picture of the paycheck.
And then ultimately, with a superior workforce, you hope that the pay increases you're giving those drivers pays off in higher productivity.
UPS, you gotta wear this $170,000 shirt.
Never let the shirt wear you.
Jack, can you whip up the takeaways for us for T-Boy Tuesday?
Dunkin' Donuts is trying to win with spiked iced coffee, even though other boozed coffees have failed.
Because every square is a rectangle, and yet not every rectangle is a square.
For our second story, girl math. It's sweeping TikTok, giving you a crazy financial rationale to buy that thing you want.
But girl math is based on concepts crucial for the financially savvy.
And our third and final story is UPS. They'll be paying their truck drivers $170,000 because of the new labor contract.
UPS, you gotta wear that shirt, that Armani shirt. Don't let the shirt wear you.
But Yetis, this pod's not over yet. Here's what else you need to know today.
First, for the 10th anniversary of the Apple Watch, Apple is reportedly planning a major overhaul.
This September, it looks like we're going to see the iPhone 15 and the Apple Watch 10.
And second, the Zuck versus Elon cage match sounds like it's off. Zuck said it's time to move on.
Here's what Zuck said. If Elon ever gets serious about a real date and an official event, he knows how to reach me.
And finally, the Cheesecake Factory just reported that their outdoor dining has been dropping.
The brutal heat across this country has people asking for a booth on the inside, next to the AC.
Now, time for the best fact yet. This one sent in by Juan Pablo Nunez from lovely Santa Cruz, Bolivia.
Identical twins does not run in families.
But non-identical twins do run in families.
Research has found that having non-identical fraternal twins in a mother's immediate family may double the chances of conceiving non-identical twins.
And this is because of a certain gene that predisposes some women to produce more eggs.
If you got non-identical twins in the family, your offspring are more likely to be non-identical twins.
Now that is some girl math, literally. Yetis, you look fantastic for T-Boy Tuesday. Whether you're girl mathing or guy mathing, you look wonderful over there.
You know, if you share a link to today's episode to 20 people, it'll grow the show, which will make our show better, which will enhance your experience.
And you'll listen 5 days a week, so it's 80% off.
And make the show make you feel better, so it's free.
Actually, Jack, I think you made money on that transaction.
You'd be stupid not to share a link to today's episode with everyone you know.
You can check our math, but we're pretty sure we're sure.
Yetis, Nick, and I, we'll see you tomorrow.
And before we go, congratulations to Yetis Jason and Bridget Wang, the legendary road tripping couple who just celebrated a 4-year wedding anniversary in Sydney, Australia.
And congratulations to Alex and Stephanie. They just got engaged on their 4-year date anniversary.
Let's see some ring pics. And Ramses Gonzalez just finished his architecture exams down in lovely Philadelphia.
Congratulations to Terry O'Neill, who just published her first children's book titled When I Was Little.
And congratulations to the long-term legendary Yeti Eli Lee, turning 2 years old over in Queens.
Happy 36th birthday to Daniel Wagand in Woodstock, California.
And congratulations to Mika Shell, who's turning 11 and starting 5th grade.
Happy birthday to Emily Olhausen, who's celebrating on a jet ski right now.
And James Tucker is celebrating that birthday in Willacoochee, Georgia.
Happy birthday to Karis Yoken Myers in Boulder, Colorado.
And Chow, happy birthday in Canton, Michigan.
And happy birthday to Helene Power in Newton, Massachusetts.
Literally just outside Boston.
And finally, happy birthday to Natalie Sanchez in Claremont, California.
Nowhere near Boston.
This is Jack. I own stock of Disney and Amazon, and Nick and I both own stock of Apple.
Jack, remember when you came to San Francisco and we went to that Giants game together? We had 2 seats, pretty good seats, man. Okay.
I do.
I bought those tickets like 4 months before you came. So when we went to the game, it kind of felt free.
Did you pay in Dogecoin?
I may as well have.